Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to see you again. Good to see you. Good to see you. If anyone is tuning in this evening for another Murray McDavid Whisky Wednesday, of course, my name is Dean Jode, head of Whisky Creations. Back streaming to you guys on a Whisky Wednesday. Really nice to be back after a few weeks off. Of course, our young, sprightly brand ambassador, Dan Hendry, was filling in whilst I was on annual leave, looking after my little man over the Easter holidays. Lots of Easter egg hunts, bonnet making, and running around in the parks here in Cheltenham, where I'm beaming from today, back in my home, which is odd, to be honest. I mean, recently, lots and lots of travel between here, Speyside, and various whiskey festivals. Right, without further ado, I am going to get straight into a Whisky Wednesday tipple today. Dan was showing you a few drams over the past few weeks. It'd be good to know any of the favorites that you guys have been enjoying over those past few weeks. We've had the UK exclusives launching as well. I'd love to know if anybody's tried those, and yeah, welcome any feedback, because it's a real plethora of flavor to be enjoyed with those UK exclusives. Now, if you want to make this cocktail along with me at home, all you're going to need is a bottle of our Peated Finish Cask Craft. I've not made this cocktail before, by the way, so you are my guinea pigs for this evening. You are also going to need a little bit of lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. If you're making one cocktail, you're going to need 35 ml of that. We're going to make a whiskey sour, so it's going to be a nice citrusy, tart, fresh cocktail as we approach the spring. You're also going to need half a white egg as well. You might, if you're feeling a bit fancy, get yourself some Angostura bitters. And I've also made up some sugar syrup. So what I'm going to do with my cocktail shaker, I'm going to pop a good bit of ice in there. It's frozen to my metal jug, so I'm just going to help that out of the way. Going to pop that in. And I'm going to go 35 ml of lemon. I'm going to go 12.5 ml of sugar syrup. Now, I've made my sugar syrup slightly different. I'm actually off of granulated sugar. I've been off of granulated sugar for a long while. Even in my my teas, my coffees, honey. Absolutely love it. Completely gives a new dynamic of sweetness into your drinks. Beautiful. And we got to put those bees to work, keep them in order. So yeah, a bit of honey syrup in there. We're going to go for the egg white as well. Now, I put a little bit too much in there, but that's okay. For one cocktail, you're just going to need half an egg white in there. And for one cocktail as well, we're going to go 1-2 dashes of Angostura bitters. And, of course, we need the Cask Craft in there. So I'm going to... Oh, lovely sound on a Whisky Wednesday. I'm going to go for 50 ml of that in there. And without further ado, this is where I get my exercise in for the day. We're going to go for a nice shake until your cocktail shaker is nice and frosted there. We're going to open that up. Wow, lovely. And actually what we're going to do is we're going to double strain. Actually, no, we're not. We're just going to single strain into the glass there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, I'm spoiling myself. Absolutely spoiling myself. If you're making this at home as well, send us your pictures. Love to see them. This is made with our peated finish, the Glenelgin, which has been finished in ex-Islay casks. So we're celebrating the flavors of smoke and citrus. We've got citrus in the whiskey sour here. We've got a nice Speyside malt. So this is my sour on Speyside, which actually, actually we're going to be making this during the Spirit of Speyside Festival at quite a few of our events. It'll be on the bar at the Touch of Tartan evening and the Friday night Ceilidh. It's also going to be at our chill out sessions at Dallas Do House over in Forest. If you've not booked onto that, that's going to be amazing. The snooker table's set up, the dartboard's up, yeah, the cocktails are already being prepared for the shaker, along with an array of amazing drams. So come along, check us out at Dallas Do House in Forest. And it's a really nice little space where you can meet wider members of the team. We've even got some of our bloody IT guys there. So if you want to know how a whiskey company runs these days on the Wi-Fi, on the World Wide Web, you're going to have the opportunity to talk to some of our IT guys. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay. So that sets me up really quite nicely to give you a bit of an update of what we've been up to at Murray McDavid over the past couple of weeks, or over the last week. I'm sure Dan's filled you in. But my last, I mean, God, I wouldn't have been talking to you guys for at least 3 weeks. And since then, I've been down to the House of Commons to train the team on the products that Murray McDavid supplied to the House of Commons, such as our Speaker Oil Select, beautiful 12-year-old Glen Murray, which has had its complete journey of maturation and first fill bourbon. Really delicious, buttery, creamy, sweet style of single malt there. Definitely worth checking out if you like the lighter styles of single malt whiskey. We also touched upon the Parliamentarian, which is just a really lovely everyday sipping blended Scotch whiskey, really good in a ginger mac, or if you just want to go for a simple serve, just a measure in a glass, top that with ice, and you can go ginger ale, or you could go for a soda or sparkling water even. Nice and fresh. It's an old school style of drinking blend. But most notably, we launched the Elizabeth Tower bottling, 35-year-old Cameron Bridge, matured in one single hogshead for that entire 35 years. Just a spectacular style of old grain whiskey, matured over those decades, just creating such a wonderful dram. Yeah, so I had a nice little jaunt in London. Dan was down in London that week as well, launching our exclusives for the whiskey shop. Lots of activity going on down in London. And of course, just a few days later, we're at Whiskey Live, officially launching our UK exclusives. Of course, I've been ranting and raving to you guys about our 8-year-old Cask that had been finished in just a very small 130-litre Tokai wine cask. And, I feel that I'm repeating myself, but the integration between that oily style of peated malt from Cask and the delicate nuances of that Tokai dessert wine, and the viscosity of that dessert wine holds that peat so well. I keep talking about it. I can't stop talking about it, which is a shame because there was only 130 odd bottles produced from that cask at cask strength. So if there's still any out there in the wild, I wouldn't hang about. I would, go for it, because it's unlike any Cask that you would have come across before. Truly delicious. We have also the one of which is coming to Speyside, the UK exclusives, is the 9-year-old Linkwood. Now, that's not bottled from a single cask. That is actually a vatting of Oloroso, PX, and port. So we've got a lot of rich fruits coming together, a lot of spice from that oak, along with that really lovely light style of liquid distillery. You know, one of the oldest producers in Speyside, and just up the road from us at Colburn Distillery. So, you know, I like to think of them as good neighbours. Yeah, lovely. Oh, sorry, I can't stop going back to that. Whisky Sour is, of course, a classic cocktail. Works with, you know, quite a lot of styles of whiskey, but I was tempted to try the peated finish, which I should say, humble brag, the winner of a gold award at the International Wine and Spirits competition this year, scoring an amazing 95 points on that. So super proud of this little number. And yeah, a very elegant style of peated cask finishing, which you might have seen actually is becoming more and more of a popular style of cask finishing, which we certainly have more spirit laid down in ex-peated casks. I was actually just assessing a sample this afternoon of a can't say too much, but a Highland single malt, which we've been resting in casks that initially were used to mature sauternes. Those casks were filled with Islay malt, so peated spirit, and that whiskey was bottled. And now we filled this Highland malt in there, and it's been in those casks for about 8 months in really, really interesting development of flavor. So I'm really, really enjoying learning and discovering the new possibilities of actually reusing a lot of our ex-first fill casks for projects like the Cask Craft. So that's a real discovery that we're enjoying within the Murray McDavid Whisky Creations team at the moment. Now, I'm not seeing many, if any, questions coming in this evening. Liv is in the background, who's heading up our social media at the moment. Liv, keep those questions popping through if once we get them coming, because yeah, I enjoy hearing what people are drinking this evening on a Whisky Wednesday, and I'm particularly curious to know if anybody has been enjoying our UK exclusives, or of course the Cask Craft, which is, you know, our big move into the world of non-age statement whiskies, which, as I say, is a brand new for Murray McDavid. And batch 1, which this Glenalgin peated finish is from batch 1. We're nearly at the end of it. Actually, a few months before we actually anticipated, which is amazing. People have been very receptive to this very affordable style of drinking whiskey, which, you know, these retail at around £34 a bottle in the UK. And yeah, really designed, as I've mentioned, really designed for those people taking their first steps into understanding cask finishing and how that can influence different styles of whiskey. So we've got batch 2 rolling through, well, just actually rolling off the bottling lines at the moment. We might have some up in Speyside. So if you guys are coming up to the Spirit of Speyside, you're going to get a sneak peek of batch number 2. Really looking forward to the feedback there. Of course, we have our Spirit of Speyside bottling as well. The labels are running through the printers at the moment. It's a little late in the day, so our bottling team up at Danderleith are going to have their work cut out. Apologize to you guys, you're going to be sweating it a little bit, but it'll all be worth it when we see all of those happy whiskey drinkers buying their bottle of our latest bottling, which I did actually take a sample to Whisky Live, and let's just say there were lots of smiles on the faces, which I am mightily relieved about, especially after the success of last year's Inchgour in Sherry. This year we're taking a different route from the expected or traditional sherry maturation that we've applied to our Spirit of Speyside bottlings. I'm just going to say it's a little bit mad, but delicious. There was a clue in there somewhere. I'm not gonna reveal anymore. I guess the only other clue that I could apply is as you're driving, let's say from Colburn Distillery back up to Elgin, it's a 4-mile drive. You'll see the distillery. You'll see the distillery as you drive from Colburn back up to Elgin. You'll see the distillery. But for those that have taken the journey, you'll appreciate you'll see quite a few distilleries, even in that short 4-mile journey. I'm not going to say any more because I can feel the marketing team and the sales team screaming at me to say, stop giving all of that information away. We're going to be announcing more information on the Spirit of Speyside bottling next week, next Wednesday. We'll probably have a few more clues in next Whisky Wednesday's chat. We've got a little bit of social media that's going to give you further clues. It's going to be fun. Yeah, I'm not going to say any more. I can feel it coming out of my mouth, but no, that's it. So also over the Easter break, actually I think just before the Easter break, we had a wonderful group of Danish guys who came to visit our warehouses at Colburn. Kevin, our warehouse manager at Colburn, who he's born and raised on the site. He'll also be at Colburn for the tours during the Spirit of Speyside Festival. Amanda, who's part of our Whisky Creations team, she was also hosting the tasting, the tour, and will also be on site for the Spirit of Speyside. So yeah, come along and soak up the knowledge, because as I say, typically we don't generally, we don't have day-to-day tours at Colburn, but if you are interested in a tour and a tasting, we do offer a few different experiences, but you just need to contact us, whether it's through Instagram, Facebook. You can message us at info at aco.co.uk, and that's your way in. Just let us know if you want to visit. If you're passing, there'll be a member of the team there always to give you a little bit of a look through the door. And it's a really wonderful opportunity to just look into an old school whiskey warehouse, which Colburn absolutely is, and one of the most eclectic. You would have heard me saying, within that warehouse, we've got single malts from, over 90 different distilleries, 120 odd different cask types from different origins, and spirit dating back to 1962. It's quite remarkable, the possibility of flavor underneath that one roof. Really, really quite remarkable. So yeah, I mean, if you're up for the Spirit of Speyside, book yourself into one of the tours there. We've got a variety of different activities going on, from the standard tours to our I'll be hosting the Lynch tours, where I'm going to be showing guests, showing visitors some of the casks that I'm most intrigued about within our warehouses. Some traditional, some a little bit out there. Steve, I could always rely on Steve to bring in a comment. Daniel was lucky. You were lucky enough to have Daniel show you around. Oh gosh, geez. Well, if Daniel showed you around the warehouses, I'm a little bit worried. Um, I just hope that he left whiskey for the visitors of Speyside Festival to enjoy some whiskey. I hope you guys didn't tuck in too hard. Andrew, good to see you on there, Andrew. Drams Under the Stars. Oh my God. Yeah, Drams Under the Stars. I'm very, very jealous about Drams Under the Stars because we're working on the rotor at the moment, and yeah, I'm going to be missing out on a few of those this year, which I'd already brought my marshmallows. I've got a great old supply of marshmallows that I wanted to roast on that fire, but it looks like I'm going to have to roast 5 bags in one night. But we'll see. I mean, the Drams Under the Stars is going to be hosted by, well, Dan is going to be there. So I'm, again, a little bit worried about the whiskey supply there. You're all going to have a very good time, that's for sure. The fire is going to be awesome. Last year we fueled that with whiskey staves, and if you're unfamiliar how whiskey staves burn, oh my lord, they burn very, very hot. So don't get too close. Keep your just keep your wits about you, because you will lose your eyebrows if you get too close. It will keep you warm, that's for sure. Let's just hope, let's just pray to the weather gods that we steer clear of any wind, rain, or even snow. Dare I say it? I'm touching all the wood. There's a little bit around that we get the good weather. There's going to be music as well, and of course fantastic drams. I think we've got some really lovely beer as well lined up for that from our friends at Spey Valley Brewery. Yeah, it's one of our highlight events throughout the festival, and I should say it's an event that we're going to keep on going throughout the summer. It's not just going to be for the Spirit of Speyside Festival. We've created actually a brand around the bothy, which we're going to be launching at the festival. We're going to be bottling little 20 cl bottles of single malts. Not going to say too much about that again. My lips are sealed on that. But I'm just going to say it's heavily sherried. It's a beautiful dram to enjoy around a nice roasting fire, in good company with great music. It's going to be amazing. It really is. So Andrew, enjoy that. Martin, grew up with staves burning on the fire in the living room. Oh, well, you're just showing off. You are just showing off. Yeah, of course you get all of that wonderful heat, but the aroma, of course, as well. Really quite amazing. So yeah, those going to that. I think we're still telling people, if they're brave enough, take your tents. I think we're making camping available as well for that. So yeah, it's gonna be great. And just 2 weeks away, guys. Just 2 weeks away. I came back from the Easter break with a week off within that, and yeah, well, we came back from Easter with the realization that the festival is literally just around the corner, and yes, it's upon us. But it's one of the most exciting parts of the year for the Murray McDavid team, and this year we're going all guns blazing with bringing up a lot of our wider team from our head offices down just outside of Edinburgh, Royston Road and Livingston. So it's going to be a wonderful opportunity to meet the wider team and ask those questions, which, you know, however simple or tedious you think they may sound, you know, the team are there, and you know, they're going to be brimming with enthusiasm. Some of them are very new to the company. Some of them not so, but there's a lot of enthusiasm, let's say. So yeah, let's just have a bloody good one. I hope you've all booked your tickets. And I must say, if you've not booked a ticket for my blending workshop, please do. I mean, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to be working with the team to announce more details on exactly what we're going to be blending and the creations that we're looking to produce. It's going to be again a look behind the curtain. It's not going to be a kind of a Disney blending experience. I'm going to be taking you through the realities of small batch whiskey blending. With Murray McDavid, with our vatting series, with our Cask Craft, generally we're only creating batches of maybe 1,500 to 2,000 bottles. So we're only working with, generally a small number of casks. So that also presents its challenges of, how can we bring the flavor in that we're really looking to and the balance. And we might even run a little competition throughout that event as well. A few years ago, we had a competition for, of course, the best blend, which was tasted by the Whisky Creations team and voted for. And there's always a prize to be won for the best name of blend. That's when people get really creative, and in some cases mildly offensive, but we welcome that in small doses. It's good to have a laugh, and that's what it's all about: having fun, enjoying drams, and sharing them with people from all around the world. It's quite amazing to see the events that I've done historically during the Spirit of Speyside. Although we've had so many people joining from, we might have had people from Brazil, Germany, the Netherlands, America, and of course, all around the UK, completely different backgrounds. They come together, but of course they unite in the world of Scotch whiskey. It almost gives me shivers thinking about just how how quick that connection forms with complete strangers from completely different backgrounds. Really quite amazing. So cheers to that. And I'm going to say cheers to, I've been not working from home today. I've been working over at our managing director's house, which was our actually ACO Limited's, Murray McDavid's head offices just a few years ago, until this great expansion of the company, the great growth of the company. So I'm going to raise this to my colleague Anya Harris. If you're watching, cheers to you, because you've had a hell of a day. I say that because there's it's not all plain sailing in the world of Scotch whiskey and managing brands and managing bottlings. But I'm not going to say any more, because I know that I'll get myself into trouble very quickly. But she is coming to the Spirit of Speyside. She will be at some of our headline events, and she does enjoy a lovely dram or a gin and tonic, depending on what mood you catch her on. So if you want to hear more about the challenges of the world of Scotch whiskey, go to the bar, buy Anya a dram, and maybe she'll spill the beans on some of the the challenges that we face behind the scenes. Cheers, Anya. I literally saw her before 12 noon today. I mean, she's got lovely long black hair, and before midday, I saw greys appear. Quite remarkable. Cheers, Anya. Without wanting to get anybody into trouble, including myself, I'm just going to invite people to leave any comments or thoughts on any of the Murray McDavid bottlings that they've tried recently. I'm happy to answer any questions on that. where is it? We're Wednesday today. Of course we are. On Friday, oh my Lord. On Friday, Kevin and the team, they've got a container of Pedro Ximénez Sherry casks arriving, a container of 150 of these casks arriving from our cask partners, Ximénez Spinola, right the way from the south of Spain up to Speyside. They're going to be arriving at Royal Brackla. We've got filling plans already, of course, for most of those. But I always leave maybe 10 to 5 for any special projects, or any of our ACO customers who might wish to purchase them. However, I'm always interested to know if you at home were interested. Well, Martin, you say you'll have one. What would you do with it? And please don't say chop it up to stick on the fire. It would be a very expensive fire to have. It would smell amazing, but it would be a very expensive fire. So if you at home were to select any spirit to fill into a first fill, a freshly emptied PX sherry cask, what would it be? What would it be? Very curious to know. It's a shame that I've actually only made one of these, but it is just Wednesday and there's lots more to do, including an advert. Me and our head of design, Rich, and Melissa, who's she's probably still frantically working. Glendronach, oh, you devil. Yeah, Melissa is probably still frantically working away to get all of the Spirit of Speyside plans together. She's our head of events, so she is the master of puppets for this year, and she's been doing a fantastic job of making sure everything's in place. Steve Mortlach, oh god, yeah, picking single malts that are freely available on the market. Yes. Whilst they would be very good contenders, and it's just becoming clear to me that before Speyside, I definitely need a trim of the Barnet, because the wave is out of control. Daniel Hendry, here he goes. I'll be hosting a tasting at the Tipsy Midgie in Edinburgh tomorrow night. If anyone is in the area, tickets are very reasonable, £20 a ticket. Good Lord. So Dan, great plug there. Yeah, guys, if anybody's in Edinburgh tomorrow night, Tipsy Midgie. Dan, did I miss the time of that? Was that 7 p.m? Sorry, did I just... That's my memory, literally like a sieve. But no doubt Liv will post a link to that, to tickets. £20 for the pleasure of hearing Dan Hendry's dulcet tones talking about our latest creations for Murray McDavid is very cheap. So 7 p.m, Dan's just confirmed. If you're in Edinburgh, get yourself down there, and he'll be on hand to provide a good spread of drams, and of course tell you all about the creation of them. So yeah, wonderful. Oh, now Steve's just showing off. So tomorrow night, Steve Laidlaw is going to be in Campbelltown. Well, Steve, you're not welcome back until you get us supply of Springbank, okay? I don't want to hear from you again until you get us at least a contract supply of 25 casks of Springbank a year. Challenge on, okay? Maybe you'll get a supply of Cask Craft for life if that happens. Oh, crikey. Okay, well, guys, I mean, there's been a lot to catch up on. I'm realizing that I'm at 34 minutes, which we try and keep this to 30. I'm going to leave you by saying, if you haven't checked out already, go and check out our whiskey podcast that I did a couple of weeks back with Mitch at Not Another Whiskey Podcast. It's on Spotify. Go have a listen. for more whiskey ramblings and a little with an insight of what we're doing at Colburn Distillery. Keep an eye out as well over the next coming weeks for the Angel Share Journal. If you've not seen this journal, if you've not seen it, it's a beautiful piece of documentary. Really, there's no way of really summarizing than a beautiful piece of journalism and documentary about the whiskey industry. It's right up our street. It's all about the look behind the curtain of the industry, and the team behind the journal were up at Colburn. Oh my gosh, it feels like months ago, but it was probably weeks. Interviews, photography. I think I was actually saying with Rich and Melissa, we're actually just finishing off the advert that we're going to be putting out in that journal. We're finishing that tomorrow, but that should be printed in the next couple of weeks. I think we plan to have copies with us at the Spirit of Speyside. Beautiful photography and just really well done. Really well done. So, what more can I get to lure you to our Spirit of Speyside Whisky Festival events this year? It's going to be quite remarkable. Really looking forward to seeing a lot of familiar faces. Yeah, it's going to be spectacular. So, folks, remember, if you do get to try our Whisky Sour with the peated finish, or any other of our whiskies, I'd love to know. Or if you've tried any of our UK exclusives, feedback is always key. Really love being down at Whisky Live a couple of weeks ago to see people's reactions about those UK exclusives. Really, really important. So please, let us know. If you haven't already, join our Whiskey Club on Facebook. Of course, give us a follow on Instagram if you're that way inclined. And we'll see you next week, where there will be just 7 days to go until the Spirit of Speyside 2023. Guys, girls, enjoy the rest of your evening. Slàinte. Cheers.